One of the major flaws for us as human beings is that we are constantly judging other people. We judge the way they walk, we judge the way they talk, we judge the way they dress. If we see things that we don't really like or don't agree with, or it's not like something that we would do, we are judging them. But why do we do this? Why do we feel the need to judge other people or create stories about how we feel or what we think about another person? Well, what if I were to tell you when you judge someone, it actually reveals more about you than it does to them? See, judgment is like holding up a mirror, except the twist is that the mirror is looking right back at you. You see, the reality of the situation is your harsh judgments actually expose deep inner insecurities that you currently have, or maybe some inner conflicts that you haven't dealt with yet that are actually projecting out when you go to judge somebody else. Psychology calls this projection. So your internal fears, like something that you feel really strong about that you're kind of insecure about, you tend to judge others in order to make yourself feel a little bit better. So for instance, let's say you have a coworker and this person is extremely outgoing, right? They're always confident, they speak up in meetings, and they seem to always have the right answer. Everybody likes them. They get everything done in a timely manner, and you can look at the situation. You slightly respect how they do everything, but that little part of your brain automatically just wants to start judging them. And so when they speak up in the meeting, you start thinking, God, they talk so much. Why can't they just keep their mouth shut? Why can't they respect other people's times? Why do they feel like they always have to be the center of attention, right? Those judgments start coming up because maybe deep down, you wish you could be like that. Maybe deep down, you wish you had that kind of confidence. Maybe deep down, you wish you could be that outgoing and work within a group structure like they do, where everybody just kind of seems to like them. So some of the insecurities that you currently deal with, you project out into a form of judgment toward other people. It's good to figure this out and really look internal so you can start dealing with it. Because a lot of times those judgments will come up, like I said, where we don't even mean for them to happen. It's just a natural reaction because the fear inside deep down starts kicking in and it's too much for us to handle. So we just project it out as a judgment toward other people. Matthew 7:3 really does a good job of kind of breaking this whole concept down a little bit, where it says, why do you pay attention to the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye, but pay no attention to the plank in your eye? Basically saying, like, why are you so focused on the minor fault of somebody else when deep down there's a bigger inner issue that you should be dealing with? Like, why are you ignoring your own problem and focusing on the minor thing that you find in somebody else? So it's really important that you really start analyzing and looking deep down where these judgments are coming from, why they kind of go on autopilot sometimes where you don't even realize that you're doing it, but it's happening. It could be a deeper issue that you really just need to come to terms with. And the sooner you start dealing with it, the more you'll actually be able to free yourself from this judgment that you've been putting upon other people. Another thing, and this is really important too, you never know what somebody is going through. You never know the situation that they're in. You don't know if maybe they just lost their job and that is why somebody is acting the way they're acting. You know, we say that, oh, that guy's a jerk. Like he's constantly just saying things and making people feel a certain way. What if you're the one person that actually has empathy and wants to learn more about them? What if you're the one person that says good morning to them every single day to the point where they finally feel comfortable with you, they say good morning back, and then the next thing you know, you have that moment where you can have a conversation with them and you find out this whole time that they their wife just passed away 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's why they've been acting the way they're acting. Or maybe they went through some traumatic experience in their life and they never had someone that was able to really just talk it through with them, to help them, to guide them, to make them feel like, they're a human again. They feel like they always have to have a guard up. They feel like they always have to have a wall up, and that's why the way that they are. But until you find out that they were, abused as a child, or they went through some traumatic, situation, maybe a loved one got in a car accident, and that is why they're in this constant state, because they have their wall up, and maybe they just found they were in a situation where they couldn't trust anybody anymore. Like something happened to them. Maybe they were cheated on in a relationship that was, a long-term relationship, and they trusted this person, and come to find out that that trust got broken, and now they have a hard time trusting people. So the wall's up. You never know what somebody's going through. And it's difficult for us to really level ourselves and come from a place of empathy when somebody is acting in a certain way that doesn't make us feel good, when somebody is actually acting out toward us and they're kind of mean or abrasive, or they are just not really a pleasant person. But what if you were to ask yourself, I wonder what that person's going through, instead of judging them for who they are in that current state? What if you wanted to actually take the time to learn about them, to come to find out the situation that they're in, and now you're able to help them and change them and help them through something that nobody else was going to give them the time to figure out, because you came from a place of empathy instead of a place of judgment? What if you're that one person? And I see this all the time, and I've been through it myself. When I was in boot camp, there was this kid, Maddox, and he was so arrogant and so cocky and didn't listen to our chief at all, wanted to take things into his own hands, and it drove me absolutely crazy, which now looking back, I realized that I had my own insecurities with kind of a little bit of a lack of confidence and a lack of authority and a lack of being outgoing that I know that I was not dealing with at that time. But I also knew there was something else with this kid, because it was just too much. Come to find out, me and him got into it, and our chief actually teamed us up for what they call battle stations. It's like 24 hours that you go through this whole like battle situation in boot camp. And he had me and Maddox on the same team, and we were kind of butting heads a lot. But finally, when you're tired and you're exhausted, things kind of change a little bit. Your psyche kind of changes, where you go from frustration to just too tired to even judge somebody or deal with anything. And I saw Maddox kind of break down, and he started breaking down emotionally. And I was like, whoa, like what's going on? And the next thing I know, like we're talking, and sure enough, like he exposed a lot of his background to me. And it gave me a better perspective of why he was the way he was, why he acted the way he did. Come to find out that me and him, after that moment happened, and I took the time to just listen and come from a place of empathy and understanding, and understanding too that this is a human being that is just going through something very difficult. Now I understand why he felt the need to go into the military to begin with. I'm so glad I had that moment. I'm so glad I had that situation happen to me, because I never again wanted to judge anybody. I never again wanted to come from that place of, saying, oh, this person is this way, because it's not always true. And I'm so grateful for that moment and that lesson. And I mean, Maddox and I were great friends after that. Like we got really, really close, something I never thought was even going to be possible the way things were going. And I thought that was just a blessing in disguise to have that lesson happen at an early age for me too, where now I can understand that, people go through things, and everybody's going through something. You out there watching this video right now, you're probably going through something that is really difficult, and nobody's understanding you. Nobody's taking the time to understand you. And I feel for you. I do, and me being a life alignment coach, like this is why I'm so passionate about being able to do these videos and help other people, and hopefully have a message that's going to, change lives, because it's so important that we learn to love each other and help each other out, and stop this judgment, stop coming from this place, of such harshness and lack of love toward each other and lack of empathy. But really, we have the gift to help each other, and we have the gift and the gifts and the skill sets that were designed to help us better serve other people. And so, as a life alignment coach, if any of you out there that are dealing with something very difficult and you're kind of tired of your current situation and you don't want to come from this place of lack anymore, you want to get your life back on track and you need help with that, I am here for you. I'm more than happy to reach out and help you. If you are ready to make a change, put in the comments, I'm ready. That's what I'm here for. That's what we all should be here for, to help each other out. But judgment is something that is just, it's come too far and it needs to stop. And it's part of the bullying that's been going on. It's part of the way that life has just taken an awkward turn. We came to the fork in the road, and I feel like we're taking a shift down a road that is completely unnecessary, because as human beings, we were designed to love each other. We were designed to help each other. And we went down a path that is completely not for the design that God has in our lives. His design is from true love, true compassion, true empathy, true help, a truthful way to come together to help each other. And if you think about the moment in times where you've had that opportunity to be there for someone and see the change, someone who maybe just never really was truly able to smile, and you got that smile out of them because of you using great active listening and being a great human being and being there for them, not trying to fix the situation, but just being a lending ear, and just being there for them and letting them know that they're not alone. There's no greater feeling than that. It's amazing. And it's so good knowing that we're coming from this place of unselfishness because we truly want to help somebody else. So when I talk about judgment, it's things that we internally need to deal with ourselves, and everybody needs help with that. Whether you need help identifying it and just working through it, or whether you just want to stop the judgment that you constantly feel toward other people because you don't like the way it's starting to make you feel, and you don't like how it's making others around you feel about you either. Because let's face it, people don't like to be around other people that are constantly negative and judging other people. It's not the best feeling. It's not the best energy. It's not the best frequency to be in. So I hope this message finds you guys. I hope this helps out. You can absolutely stop yourself from the judgment. You just honestly just need to kind of observe the thought that comes in, hold on to it, grasp onto it, acknowledge it, and just let it go. And just realize, I don't need that. There's this person, there's nothing wrong with them. Everybody is allowed to be the way they want to be. Everybody can express themselves however they want. If they want to talk a certain way, they can talk a certain way. If they want to walk a certain way, they can walk a certain way. If they want to dress a certain way, they can dress a certain way. It's just a freedom that we have. We have all been given this gift of life, and how we use it should really to be honoring the will that God has on our life, but also to love and cherish and help and serve each other. I hope this video finds you guys well. I'm excited for what's in store for you in the future.